That is good. Everybody, it is 7 o'clock on the West Coast. It is 9 o'clock in Rapid City, Illinois, and it is 10 o'clock in Riverdale, New York. This is We'll Do It Live.
It's We'll Do It Live. On tonight's show, Finding Bigfoot's Cliff Barackman. Memorabilia collector Eric Holmquist. Musical performance by Plasmic. And now your hosts, Greg Crane and John Gonzalez.
Everybody, welcome in. It's We'll Do It Live. It is 7 o'clock, and we are ready to rock and roll. John Gonzalez, you just grimaced. What happened?
Nothing. I was just like so taken aback by how awesome that intro was.
Well, I was impressed myself, man. That's why I was like, well, you know, I saw you get excited. I'm like, wow, that was really good. It was one of my finer moments. What's going on, Johnny?
Nothing. Another glorious day in the Inland Empire. Spent the day at home today. Vacuumed about 10 pounds of dog hair out of my wife's car, and then got it cleaned.
That sounds like a nice little Friday.
Yeah, it was great because there was a moment where I'm like halfway through, I'm like, this is never gonna work. I may as well just give up. And then eventually, like I just said, forget it, just muscle through, get it over with. I love my dog, but I don't know what it is. He hasn't lost his winter coat completely yet. So like everywhere he goes, it's like who was that kid on the Peanuts cartoon that like had the flies around him? Pigpen. My dog is essentially the canine version of Pigpen right now because everywhere he goes, it's just like it's like wisping. It's everywhere. It's on my keyboard. It's everywhere, dude.
Why don't you just shave him down? Why don't you just shave him like all the way down?
Dude, we had this conversation with the people at PetSmart, and they were like, "Oh no, you can't do that because if you do, then it may not grow back correctly." And I'm like, "Well, I definitely don't want this patchy dog living in my house because of me. Like my fault." So, man. We're just gonna go with letting you do your thing for a month or so, and then we'll be fine. But no, otherwise, pretty normal day for old Johnny. What about you, dude? What have you been up to? Look, there's a dog hair right here.
Oh my god!
There was a dog hair.
It's chunky style. It's chunky style in your water. By the way, cheers. Thank you, Lee Kelly, for our cups. Had a pretty good little day. I ended up getting I got a Wi-Fi extender, right? Because now I'm doing the show because I have house guests. So we're doing the show from the old Dirty Frank studios, and so I go to Best Buy at lunchtime, and I get a Wi-Fi extender, and it's $50, right? I go to pay for it. I go to pay, and they ask for my phone number. I give them my phone number, but I have to go over it I swear to God, 6 times. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, you sure it's not that? And they're like, well, let me look. Are you sure it's not another phone number? I said, man, can I just buy? Are you really going to track me? Do you really need to track my every move for a $50, what is, anyway, so I had to give him a pint of blood and a copy of my birth certificate to buy the Wi-Fi extender.
I remember for the longest time, Best Buy was doing the zip code. What's your zip code? I would always say like 90210. They just accept it.
They're like, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, Mr. Gonzalez.
Yeah, made the trip down from
90210.
Beverly Hills. Yeah, to West Covina to buy this K-Rock calendar. You mind wrapping it up? I got my helicopter waiting outside. You know, I don't understand what the thing is. Yeah, why do they need so much freaking information? All I want is like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Nobody buys CDs anymore, but yeah, interesting. So how's the Wi-Fi extender working? How do you feel?
It is good.
It's,
it is good. Well, we'll find out when we watch the show. But if I'm like,
yeah,
but no, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So not bad. We will power through. So, huh?
No, I was just saying, like, same old issues for me. Went out, bought some more equipment for the show. Actually, so people may or may not notice, but I'm actually on an independent webcam that's like broadcasting on like 720. So if I were to go if I'm gonna do this, and just make it me on screen. Look at all this range now.
Wow.
Whereas before, yeah, so I had to move things around. Like there was a smashed ceramic right here. I had to move that because like one of the wings was gone. So I moved Big Ben over here, and like I have to tidy it all up now because it's just I can't have it. I have too much range now.
You do have a lot of range. Well, we are going to get the show started tonight. On the show, we are jam packed. It's going to be a very, very, very fun show tonight. Tonight, from from Discovery Channel's Finding Bigfoot, Cliff Barrickman is on the show. Eric Holmquist, our good old friend, and welcoming back to the show musical performances by Plasmic. But before we do that, we have a little thing that we like to call We'll Do It Live Confessions. This is where we will each read a confession that we had sent to each other. We have not read this before. We sent them today. And these are just, things we want to get off our chest. Just things that we feel now is the time. So, John?
That's correct.
Take it away.
I get to go first this time. I forgot. Okay. So here's my prepared statement. The We'll Do It Live confession. And actually, I'll you know what? Let's use all that range. Let's use all that range just for this moment right here. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I have yet another secret I would like to get off my bushy gray chest. 30 years ago. That's funny in itself because I don't even have anything close to chest hair, but that's fine. 30 years ago, I legally changed my name to John Gonzalez. I would like to come clean now and reveal that before that time, my given name is Fartley Stephen Hippo. The Hippo family is a proud family. I beam with pride thinking of my Hippo roots. Finding a souvenir license plate or oversized pencil with my name on it in Great America was always tough. I had to settle for many a summer. The Metrolink going by Greg's house was not distracting at all.
Sorry. Go right ahead.
I moved on late in life with the name John Gonzalez. But in my heart, I will forever be Fartley Stephen Hippo. Thank you.
Bravo. Bravo. I'm so glad you got that off your chest, John.
Yeah, man, me too.
And I'm sorry about the Metrolink. Like I said, I have house guests. We have house guests in the usual studio, so we're outside. Here we go. Yeah. Now, I have something I'd like to say as well, John. And now is the time. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I, Greg Crane, the host of We'll Do It Live, sit in front of you with yet another confession. It may be shocking. I am fully aware that the following statements may cost me more than I anticipate. I could lose friends. I could lose my family. I could lose the right to lawfully occupy public parks and schools. What am I about to tell you is nothing short of a tragedy, much like my attempts to build homes with Habitat for Humanity. I have no business holding tools, and that there was no. I have no business holding tools, and that was their fault for not vetting me properly. Besides, who's going to complain about a shoddily built patio when he lives in a hut? I am prepared to completely disclose my shame, no matter how disappointing it may be to you. It is possible that I may have only disappointed my father more than I am about to let you down. Well, that's not necessarily true. I did let several people fall to the ground during a company seminar while doing trust falls. In my defense, I needed both of my hands to play Candy Crush on my phone. Finally, no confession would be complete without an apology. I need to apologize to all of you. I need to apologize to John. I need to apologize to the makers of Ken sneakers. I don't expect any of you to understand my sins, but I ask you that I be forgiven. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to give you my full and honest confession. Here it goes. I have never, ever in my life put a shopping cart back. Ever. And that is my confession. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Boy, man, that.
Yeah, I feel good.
That big of a
I feel
deal.
better.
I gotta say, there was a lot of build. I think you
a lot of build
a lot
yeah,
more. Yeah. It's odd, you know. It felt the whole. Why would you not be allowed in a park if you didn't put a shopping cart back? I
don't know why I had to apologize to Ken sneakers. I don't know what they had to do with anything.
Yeah,
but I did.
Yeah, that's
I
weird.
did. I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better.
Good. No, that's good. Are you ready for the first break of the evening?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be right back with our great friend, Cliff Barrickman. We'll be right back after these words. Everybody, we are back. Thanks so much for sticking with us. It is We'll Do It Live. And right now, we are going to bring onto the show our very good friend, Mr. Cliff Barrickman. How are you, Cliff?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you guys doing today?
Hey, we are great. Thanks so much for coming on. And we were talking before the show how much of a huge fan that John is of Finding Bigfoot. And he had some great questions for you. And I know he was really excited to bring these out. So I'm going to let John go ahead and take the lead.
All right, bring it on.
Yeah. Awesome. Cliff, again, thank you for being on the show with us and putting up with our nonsense. So the first question I have is, obviously you were on a show that I discovered called Finding Bigfoot, and it immediately caught my attention because I'm another one of those people that I honestly do believe that there is a Squatch out there, or at least there did exist at one point. So it was always interesting to me to see you guys go into these different towns and hear these stories of these people that had experienced it. So what was it like when you would go into a town and you'd have to have this kind of forum with people? What was the feeling like going into those?
Well, it was always great because, one of the things about Sasquatch is that most people don't realize is that it's actually a species. It's a species of undiscovered primate of some sort. We don't know exactly what it is. It might be some sort of ape thing. It might be some sort of hominin, which is a fancy term for a human ancestor or a branch off thereof, since we broke off from chimpanzees about 6 or 8 million years ago. So these things are a continent-wide species. So one of the fascinating things for me, being a Bigfoot researcher for the last 26 years of my life, is learning about the various habitats and habits and behaviors of Sasquatches, how they differ, and also, more importantly, how they remain the same no matter where you go in North America. So whether it's here in Oregon, where I live, or Kentucky, or any of these places, you hear these stories, and one after another not only describes the same anatomy and morphology and whatnot of the animals themselves, but also the same behaviors. And after 9 years of being on the road doing it, you kind of eventually build a model, a mental model of what these things are and do. But even that's just a brief glimpse into what these things actually are. So for me, it was a wonderful learning opportunity. And every time I went to a new town, it was just another chance to get excited about learning about my favorite critter on the planet.
Yeah, I would have to imagine that definitely had to play part of it. So Matt, is he really that intense in person as he was on the show?
Well, they toned him down, actually. That's the great thing about being on a television show is that we have editors. Matt is supremely focused. It's ridiculous. The guy drinks Red Bull to calm down. That's the kind of personality he has, and he's a great person to have on the team because of it. Because when he gets fired up and focused on something, nothing can pull him off it. Nothing, and I mean nothing. Hey, Matt, we're out of time. No, screw that. We're gonna do it. We're doing it live, or whatever you might say at the time. Because Matt is a fireball that ignites into itself. Yeah, and he's so passionate. You can feel the passion, and you get close to me, it'll ooze on you. You got, it's contagious.
Okay, so then speaking of oozing, I gotta ask.
Wow.
Did Bobo ever wash his hair?
Oh yeah, Bobo has very good grooming habits. Sometimes we get out and we'd pick the nits off of one another, while we're waiting for scenes and stuff. Very, very good grooming habits in general, because again, whatever Sasquatch is like, Bobo likes, so a lot of that ape behavior really went a long ways. And when Bobo had his crop, as he called it, he shaved his head now, but when he had his crop, he was kind of a pain in the ass sometimes, because no matter where we were, Broken Bow, Oklahoma, Mayaca State Park in Florida, doesn't matter. He very often had to find time to go get what he called an HOT, dude, hot oil treatment for his hair. So he spent a great deal of time focused on his hair and looking good. And he learned from the best. He learned from his good friend, Heavy Metal Pat. Heavy Metal Pat is Bobo's hair sensei, is what he called. And, Heavy Metal Pat's whole thing was fluffing his hair and making sure it's big, because he's very 80s glam rock sort of stuff,
Bobo did have a glorious head
I'm
of
being
hair.
serious. This is his crop is a serious thing. So yeah, don't laugh.
No, so getting onto a little more, one last just kind of serious question before we get interesting. I'm back. It's, of course, it's the weekly thing with
it's all right. If your
setup.
question buzzes out, I'll answer my own question. It doesn't matter to me. You guys are extra. I've done so many of these now. Like I don't even need the host anymore.
All right, take it away, Cliff. We'll be right back.
No, but the one big question that I had for you was to explain the knocks and calls that you use while you're out in the field.
Well, for a long time, Sasquatches, I mean a long time, like the 1800s, there are historical newspaper accounts of giant, hair-covered man-like things. The word Bigfoot didn't exist then, nor did the word Sasquatch. But there are these stories of these hairy wild men out in the woods screaming and howling and yelling. That's been reported for a long time. The knocks have been reported all the way back into the late 1950s. But actually, Moneymaker, of all people, discovered that you can make those knocks, and sometimes they'll answer back. We don't know exactly what they're doing, but there's parallel behavior in the other great ape species. Just about 5 years ago, there was a study published, I think it was in Rwanda, that this lowland gorilla population, they noted that when the researchers went into the swamp where the gorillas lived, the females would clap and bang on things to notify the other gorillas in the troop that there are intruders coming in. We don't know if that's what the Sasquatch's intentions are, but there are behaviors like this in other great apes. Moneymaker discovered that we can make those sounds, and they might reply by doing Sasquatch vocalizations in eastern, or not vocalizations, by doing Sasquatch investigations in eastern Ohio amongst the, not the Amish, but the Mennonites, the Mennonite people. The Mennonites called Matt, or some people that Matt knew, he got called into a situation where some Mennonite farmers were seeing Sasquatches on the edge of their fields sometimes, just occasionally. And they told Matt that when they're outside chopping wood, sometimes they get knocks back from the woods, and they thought those might be Sasquatches. So Matt started trying it out, and sure enough, it works.
Wow.
Very super cool. That was always like my favorite part of the show was when you guys doing the knocks or doing the call, which I think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Bobo had the best call.
He's the expert field caller or whatever they called him on there. So yeah. But Bobo will tell you first off, because he blew his voice out years ago in bars trying to impress chicks by doing Bigfoot vocalizations, which seems to me the wrong path down. But hey, Bobo gets away with a lot of stuff.
Try that out.
So yeah, you go ahead and try that out, and you'll spend a lonely life. But yeah.
Wow. So
I know.
I want to.
Yes.
Oh,
go ahead. No. That was it. I was.
We want to
speaking to you.
We want to definitely bring, as a helicopter flies over, and everybody can hear that. We want to bring up the North American Bigfoot Center up in Oregon that you started how long ago?
Well, the North American Bigfoot Center is my Bigfoot museum. My wife and I own a Bigfoot museum. We just opened it up. It got fully open in October, and we're cruising along, and then the plague came and we shut down for 3 months, so we're back open now for the last 2 weeks or so. And couldn't be more happy about it. Honestly, it's a scary thing when your brand new business gets shut down for a plague.
Oh man. Well, tell us about like when somebody visits, when someone comes up to, and what city is it in?
It's actually in Boring, Oregon.
Oregon.
Oregon, right? Yeah, we're the sister city of Dull, Scotland. That's true. But Boring is on Highway 26 between Portland, Oregon, and Mount Hood, the vacation spot and the ski spot. So we're right on the side of the highway there at the Boring exit. And basically, the North American Bigfoot Center is a Bigfoot-themed museum. Yeah, we've got a little bit of the tchotchke hokey stuff going on, but really, it's really a science-based museum, because the thing I hear over and over is that there's no evidence for Sasquatches, which is utterly, completely ridiculous. There's no proof of Sasquatches, but that's a different story. There's a ton of evidence, and the evidence itself is internally congruent, like footprint casts, for example. Everybody pictures a big old foot, but when you look at the footprint casts, what you see are subtle differences between Sasquatch feet and human feet. Even the size, besides just the size, the structural differences. Sasquatch feet are actually redesigned to match for the necessary biomechanics of carrying a mass of that size. And so we have a ton of Sasquatch footprints on display here with explanations on each one of them. We have handprints on display. We've got historical artifacts. We have a big butt print, which is awesome, and that's anatomically correct too. It's got the hair striations, the tailbone, the sphincter, and yes, it's a female. And we've got a lot of amazing pieces of evidence on display. So if you come to the museum, yeah, there's gift shops and stuff like that, but there's a really, it's really eye-opening for people who have not immersed themselves in the subject to see how much actual evidence, including photographs and videos and all this other stuff that exists for the supporting the hypothesis that Sasquatches are in fact real animals.
Wow, that is how many? That is fantastic. How many people do you get a year that pop by the museum?
Don't know. We haven't been open a year yet. We opened in October, and
okay, right, okay.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, we're surviving. We're making rent plus a little bit, and what else could you ask for? So yeah, we're just going to cruise forward and learn. And really, it's a center, though. I want to point that out because yeah, we're a Bigfoot museum. You can see cool stuff here and cool videos, but we're also like I guess like a lightning rod for the community. I get sighting reports in the shop every single week, and many of them are very recent. Just last Sunday, I went up to Mountain Hood and I cast footprint up there. Let's see. This past week, a woman came in that she said that she saw a Sasquatch over by Stevenson, Washington, about an hour and a half away a week ago Sunday. So I went over and investigated that. Before we closed down, between Christmas and the last week of February, I did 6 on-site investigations within 2 days of the observation of the Sasquatch or the footprint find. 6 between the end of December and the end of February. This is becoming a fantastic lightning rod for the community and a place where people can report their Bigfoot visual encounters and all the other stuff. It's cool. You'll dig it.
Well, congratulations on everything, and thank you so much for being on the show, Cliff. We really appreciate it.
Hey man, I'm doing it for Dane. Dane's a good bro, and remember, you have to go hug Dane for me. That's all I ask for you for me being on the show. Go hug Dane.
Absolutely, the Dane Madsen. We really appreciate it. Right. We are going to regroup and take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Eric Holmquist. Everybody, thank you so much, Cliff.
No problem.
Thanks, Cliff.
No problem.
Everybody, we are back. It is We'll Do It Live. Thanks so much for sticking with us, and thanks so much for sharing and liking our show and telling your friends. We are back with our good friend, Mr. Eric Holmquist. Eric, what's happening, man?
Thank you guys very much, man. Good to see you guys.
Now, Eric, where are you at? You are in
I'm in St. John, Indiana. I'm about 35 minutes from downtown Chicago or so.
Nice, man. Well, we've known each other a long time, and I know
Sure
you
have.
as a drummer, as an unbelievably great drummer, and you also work in the industry as a drum tech. But what I love so much is we have this connection through collecting, and
Yes.
I've always wanted to show off your amazing collection. I mean, this is bar none one of the finest, most extensive collections of I guess what would you say, like famous monster?
Universal monsters are the primary subject in my collection. You know, the Frankenstein, Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Dracula, the Hollywood horror stuff.
Right. And you have, how long have you been collecting? When did you start this collection? Because it's extensive.
I was a big fan of this stuff with my dad growing up as a kid, and he was into it when he was a kid. So obviously it was kind of a, father to son type of thing, but we both started collecting when I was about 5. And then once I got the gig with Kansas, being able to travel and stuff, I would meet, different collectors and the internet and stuff like that. So that's when my collection really just started to get out of control, if you will say.
Did you have like people bring things to like meet and greets and stuff like, hey, Eric, I saw you online. I brought this head for you. That's never a good thing. When somebody comes up with a bowling ball bag with a head in it, never a good thing.
I have a lot of good friends, who are fans of the band and stuff that know that I collect this stuff. So I've had people buy me, little monster ornaments and have given me gifts over the years, and very thankful for that. But here, somebody wants to say hi. This is Bela Lugosi from Igor, and he wanted to say hi.
Hey, that is unbelievable. Now how much does that weigh? Is that heavy, or is it?
This one is probably 3 pounds or so. It's all foam filled underneath to preserve the latex. But all those masks, like right behind me here, all these right over in here, man, these are, some of these are from the 60s, 70s, reprints and stuff like that. I have a lot of friends that paint all my monster masks for me too. So the collector market is obviously pretty good for this stuff right now, and always has been.
Wow. Well, can you give us a private tour and show us some of your prized artifacts?
Yeah, man. So behind me are some monster masks that were actually made by a great friend of mine. His name was Dwayne Whitehead, and he painted all those, sculpted them. The detail on them are absolutely incredible.
Wow.
I've had those for quite a while. Here's another cool, really, really cool thing, man, right behind me is the Frankenstein robot from 1964, I believe. And it has a remote that it would be able to pick stuff up off the ground. That is
like empty beer cans.
Yeah, exactly, empty beer cans. If it only could get you another one, though, right?
honey, tell the Frankenstein to bring me a Bud Light.
Yeah. This is just some other knickknacks and stuff I have. I'll turn the thing around so y'all can see a little bit better. But I mean, even my floor is packed.
Oh man, I get that too. I mean, yeah, stuff you just got to go through, and now, do you ever rearrange everything, or do you keep it pretty much the same?
Well, I don't have any room to rearrange shit, so I'm just putting stuff up on the walls. And then the weird thing is that I'll come home from a road trip and I'll look down here and I'll go, shit, I didn't know I ever had that. I didn't know I ever had that stuff. So that's one of the cool things. But one of the coolest things about my house is, so my bookcase right here. If you open up my bookcase after one of the models falls, but I have a secret room back here that is
my god
stuff as well.
Oh my god, you have a secret room
I have
with lore.
That has
This is the most overindulgent thing I've ever seen. He has a room full of masks that needs a secret room full of masks.
Well, that's a really good mask in the other room. You know, you got the display masks and you got the ones in the
that's for
vault.
more. Well, you know, just in case if I ever need more room for stuff, man, I have the secret room. So you never know when this.
Well, now it's not a secret. The tens of people who watch our show, now they know you have the secret room.
This is my Wolf doll that I bought from Butch Patrick as Eddie Munster.
Wow.
Very cool.
So you said that's one of 60,
And
I think? And we're just going to look at that right there.
Yeah.
That's fine.
No, this is actually pretty cool. You see the Wolfman and Eddie Munster right there. You know that
Oh, wait, we're back.
slapped Adam Carolla. You aware of that?
I didn't hear about that.
Oh, it's a great story. It's in his book.
So we are back. I guess there's some connection. Can you hear us, Eric?
yeah, I sure can. Can you?
Yeah, there we
Hello?
go. And we're back.
Oh, okay. All right. Good.
What? There was one piece you showed me earlier that is so insanely rare.
Yes. Let me grab it really quick. I have it right here. This is from 1964. They didn't make many of these, from what I've been told, and this has always been like one of the high-end items for any monster collector out there. And I've seen a couple of them on eBay that just sell for big bucks, $2,000-$3,000 in rough shape. I just received this, and it's the same one I've been looking for, and it's still in the original packaging from 1964. And what it is you get all these little slides, and you watch them in this horoscope thing, and that's how kids had fun in 1964. No batteries required. It's an unbelievable piece that I never ever thought in a million years I would ever find.
Well,
Now that's going in.
why don't you rip that thing on open and let's take a look inside.
Oh, I want to watch monster movies on it right now. So what do you think? I'm looking for a second one that I can play with.
Now that's going to go in the secret room?
I'm not going to tell you where it's going to go. How about that?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You're right. Nobody knows who that one is.
Lon Chaney Sr. says hi too.
Man, what a collection. And a few people had texted me today that were really looking forward to this this segment.
Awesome. You know, I don't really get to talk a lot about this stuff because, like I said, you know, most people know me as, you know, the Kansas guy or whatever, but to me, this is cool. I want to thank you for having me on this, man. This is very cool to show it off.
What is the one thing? Now, do you have like a holy grail, like another thing that you're looking for? We always have that one thing that we're looking for.
Oh, I have a lot of things I'm looking for. The thing I'm looking for right now is in the 60s, they made these board games. They had Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Dracula, which I have those three, but they made a Creature from the Black Lagoon one, a Mummy one, and a Phantom of the Opera one. And every once in a while I see them, but they're like, you know, give me $500, and I'm going, nah, that's too much, you know, stuff like that. But those three things are pretty cool. I'd love to see that. I'd love to find those sometime.
Well, like I said, the tens of people who are watching, they might have one in their basement.
Yeah. Ask your grandparents if they have any of these old board games, you know, from the 60s.
Now, Eric, I do have a question. Is it all just classic horror stuff, or like is there possibly like a Michael Jackson Thriller mask back there somewhere? I mean, you are in Indiana.
You know,
see, look how shocked he is, John.
I know it's shocking.
Right now, he's thinking. Eric is thinking very deeply about what he's going to say. There he is.
Mariano is loving this, by the way.
Mariano, you know, he's enjoying it. Well, you know what?
Love you.
We want to thank. That's Eric, everybody. Right there. We want to thank Eric Holmquist
I have a
for being on the show. Oh, there he is.
Hey,
Oh, there he is.
hey, sorry.
Got him. There he is.
Igor took my computer, man. He wanted to mess with me a little bit.
Well, thanks so much, Eric. We appreciate you being on the show, man. It means a lot.
Thank you guys very much, man, and look forward to seeing you soon, Greg.
I'll see you real soon. All right, everybody. We're going to take a break, regroup. We'll be right back. Musical guest, Plasmic, everybody. We'll be right back. Everybody, we are back. This is We'll Do It Live. We're having a great time tonight. It is Friday night. Thank you so much for sharing and liking the show. Right now, we want to welcome back to the show, playing a new song called 100 RX. Please welcome back to the show, Plasmic.
I am a product of your ignorance. I am a product of your rotted country. I yell, scream and kick, cause I can't be how you want me. So why are you surprised that I'm depressed? I'm still alive, you should be impressed. Medication, domination, it's a new crazy trend in the nation. Every boy and girl is going to hell. Now just so I can get through the day, a little pink pill leads the way. I don't need your meditation, just give me my medication. I don't need to get organized, I just need for you to realize. Give me my prescription, give me my prescription. 100 refills and some Xanax too. Give me my prescription, give me my prescription. I don't care about your Xanax. to punish me for all my mistakes. They put me on Ritalin, the zombie awaits. I sleep through class and get real crass, but this is better than a happy hyperlapse. Medication, domination, it's a new craze controlling the nation. Every boy and girl is going to hell. Now just so I can get through the day, a little pink pill leads the way. I don't need your meditation, just give me my medication. I don't need to get organized, I just need for you to realize. Give me my prescription, give me my prescription. 100 weekly pills, it's insanity. Give me my prescription, give me my prescription. I don't care about your sense,
Everybody! Plasmic, everybody!
Thank you.
Welcoming Plasmic back to the show. We actually have a little studio audience in there right now. So, thank you so much for being on the show. What do you say, Lauren? You got one more in you?
Yeah, I think I got one more.
All right. Why don't you play us out? Play one more tune, ladies and gentlemen. Plasmic. We'll be right back.
Behaving like that with women you don't even know. How'd you feel somebody did that to your mother? Or your sister? Or your wife?
Revenge is so sweet. Revenge is so sweet. I won't be discreet. Revenge is so sweet. Revenge is so sweet. I won't be discreet. Revenge is so sweet. Revenge is so sweet. I won't be discreet. Revenge is so sweet. Revenge is so sweet. I won't be discreet. I want it good. 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 I want to. I'm gonna make him suffer. Gonna make him run. Revenge is so sweet. Revenge is so sweet. I won't be disgraced. Revenge is so sweet. Revenge is so sweet. I won't be disgraced.
We have a studio audience. Thank you. Thank you so much. Everybody, that is it for us.
Pan the camera. Pan the camera over to them. I want to
Oh, pan the camera. There
I
they
want to see their face.
There they are.
Yay!
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo! You're making a lot of noise.
That is it for us, everybody. We'd like to thank Eric Holmquist, Eric Barrickman. We'd like to thank Plasmic. We'd like to thank John Gonzalez. And thank you so much for watching tonight, and we will see you next week. Thank you, John. I love you, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. One last thing before we go, a message from Cliff to the audience. Please visit his website, NorthAmericanBigfootCenter.com.
Don't forget. Thank you so much, everybody. John, I love you, buddy. I'll see you. I'll see you soon. I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.